Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a fun little get ready with me using 10 products that I would go out and purchase first. I just uploaded this video about a week or so ago. Actually, I just uploaded it yesterday, but I'm not quite sure when this video will be edited and up. So recently I did that tag video, 10 things I would go out and purchase first. And in our Beauty Chit Chat Facebook group, which if you're not part of, definitely go request to be part of that group. I'll leave a link down below. A subscriber asked me to do a video putting on the makeup that I featured in that video. So that is what we have today. I created this makeup look using the 10 products that I would go out and purchase first if I lost all my makeup. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's get started. I have, aside from skincare, I have pretty much just a bare face. Tiny bit of eyebrow makeup, but that is it. So the Face Atelier foundation, we're going to start with that. I have the shades 4 and 6. I'm going to use 6 because I'm a little bit tan. You can see that my body, there we go, is a little darker than my face. So that's what we are going to get started with. And I'm just going to do one full pump of this, maybe 2. So you can see this foundation consistency is pretty runny. It runs down the hand pretty quickly. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush, and I'm just going to go and apply this all over my face. So I have a pretty big day today. I have an event here in a couple of hours, and I have a couple of things planned throughout the day, but basically the makeup that I'm applying now at 10 a.m. needs to last me until probably about 10 p.m. tonight. And part of the day is going to be spent outside, so that concerns me a little bit. Hopefully my makeup looks good and fresh all day long. Alright, so I'm just kind of pressing this in the center of the face. This foundation doesn't need a primer. If you have really oily skin and you like to use a mattifying primer or something to kind of control your oil throughout the day, you can certainly do that. It's not going to ruin it by using a primer, but a primer is not usually needed. It just is so pretty. It just looks like skin. I love this foundation. I don't use it enough just because I'm testing new things all the time, but every time I use it, I think to myself, why don't you use this all the time? Okay, so the way I like to apply this is I like to kind of just do one thin layer and then go back and add coverage if I need it in certain places. So usually I find that's in the center of my face, so I'm just going to take what is left over on my hand. I've kind of used all of that, and I'm going to just apply this directly in the center of my face. And don't worry, we're going to conceal in just a second. Since I applied a little bit more foundation than I normally like to, I'm just going to take a beauty blender and just press, press, press. Just to make sure I get it all blended in and also to absorb any excess that I might have applied that's just hanging out. I'm going to pull my hair back. Someone mentioned that my hair is pretty distracting, and I totally agree, especially after I just wash it because it's really big. So I'm going to just kind of get it out of the way for the rest of my makeup. All right. So as that kind of sets, I'm going to go ahead and apply my concealer. The concealer that I picked as far as 10 products I would buy first is the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. This is a fantastic concealer, and especially since it's drugstore, it's nice on the budget. It's pretty thin, so if you like to use a concealer to highlight, I think this is a good one to use. I don't recommend using a concealer to, like every concealer to highlight, because some concealers are a little thicker in consistency and a little heavier. And especially if you've already applied foundation and then you go in with a heavy concealer to highlight, it just does not look pretty. You know, it can look really heavy and really cakey. So this one I think is a nice one to highlight with though, because it is pretty thin in consistency. And I like to use a beauty blender to apply it. This and the Sigma concealer brush, I think it's the F79, are my 2 favorite tools for applying concealer. Today I have one of those days that's just a little nutty, and of course I have all these things that popped up that I didn't account for when I was planning my morning. I have a kind of bloggers event today, and then I'm meeting up with some friends before for happy hour, and then we're possibly going to do dinner after that, and then I have a meeting before all of that. And then this morning, as I was packing my daughter's swim bag, because my mom is picking them up from school and taking them to swim lessons, I realized that I need to buy goggles for my youngest because she broke her goggles last week. So I got to make a run to Target before all of this. All right. So I'm really taking my time to press that concealer in. Press, press, press. Okay. Okay. The powder that I chose was the Danessa Myricks Loose Translucent Powder. I like this one a lot because it's very lightweight. I can use this under the eyes, and I can use it to set my foundation. My under eye setting powder of choice is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening, but when I was doing this video and I had to pick just 10 products, I didn't want to pick two face powders, so I was thinking of one powder that I could use for both purposes, and it was this one. What is this called? The Total Face Brush to powder, because I like to keep the powder really light. Normally I don't even need to powder this foundation, but just because I have a really long day and it's really hot outside and I'm going to be outside quite a bit, I just want to make sure that I'm making my makeup as sweat-proof as possible. Then next, we are going to prime the eyes, and I chose the Revlon Color Stay Eyeshadow Primer. The Milani is equally as good. This is just one that is a little newer to me, and so I've been kind of grabbing it more frequently. And I just put a little bit on my fingertip, and I use my fingers to apply this. So I like to get it on there and then just sheer it out. Make sure that I get good coverage from lash line to brow. You want it to be even, you want it to be sheer. We're moving quickly here, I don't know if you noticed. Okay, so the palette of choice for me was the chocolate bar, the Too Faced chocolate bar. I have to say this is kind of just a really great staple. Like, I feel like this palette, if I don't want to really think about my makeup, or if I'm traveling and I don't really want to think about all the shadows I want to bring or the different looks I want to create while I'm on vacation, I'll grab this one because it's just a really good all-around eyeshadow palette. So today, what am I going to do today? I don't think I'm going to mix it up too much. I'm going to stick kind of in this neutral family over here. Let's start with our crease color, and we're going to start lighter. We're going to do this color here. It's called Salted Caramel. And I'm just going to kind of dust this in my crease. And I'm not being too careful with this. As you can see, I'm just kind of going all over the crease, even kind of up here to where my brow is, because this color is a little lighter. I really want that color to just be like a big diffusion of color. That makes sense. I want it to be sheer and see-through, but I want it to be really nicely blended. Does that make sense at all? I'm going to go in with a darker color to create more definition. So then I'm going to go in and I'm going to create a little bit more definition with a color that's a little bit deeper, and I'm using this color here. It's called Semi-Sweet. This one right here, this brown matte. And I'm using this brush by Morphe. I don't actually know, this is by Crown. It's the C528. I really don't like this brush. It's really stiff and it's not very soft or comfortable, but the size is perfect, and for what I have around, it's just what I'm going to use. But this isn't really a brush that I would recommend. I feel like you can find a brush that's the same size that's softer. Okay, and so for this color, I'm just going to kind of create that little outer V, and I'm going to take it about midway in my crease. It's too bad though, because the size and shape is perfect. When I bought it, I was so excited about it, and then when I used it, I was like, wait a minute. This is not feeling the best. The stiffer your brush, the harder it is going to be to blend. So just keep that in mind. So see, yeah, I feel like I need to blend that out quite a bit more. So I'm going to take a softer brush. This is the 217 by MAC. And I'm going to go in there and do exactly that. Just kind of blend that out a little better. Alrighty. So now we have about this. And at this point I'm just kind of blending the two sides to even them out. Make sure that they look consistent. Then next I'm going to pack on my eyelid color. And for that I'm going to use this gorgeous color here. It's called Creme Brulee. It's just this really beautiful, it's kind of like an olivey gold bronze is kind of the way I would describe it. And I'm going to load up the side of my brush. If you notice, I'm loading up the side. I'm not loading up the tip. I'm loading up the side because I'm going to use that side almost like a fingertip, and I'm going to press it on my eyelid. Oh, I love this color. I mean, I know we see like this color in almost every like bronze palette, right? But for some reason, I don't know what it is about this particular shade. I just think it is perfect. Okay, next for the brow highlight, I'm going to take the obvious brow highlight in this palette, which is this color right here, White Chocolate. And, oops, sorry guys. And I'm going to load up my brush, and I'm just going to go right underneath that brow. I feel like this color is kind of sheer, so I'm using a like really stiff brush. This brush is actually meant for concealer. I'm using a really stiff brush so that it picks up a lot of that. Then next, it's brow time. So the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer is without a doubt one of the first products I would go out and purchase. I use it daily. To me, it's like the perfect mix between a brow pencil, a brow wax, not quite a brow gel, but it does subtly keep the brows in place because it is a bit more waxy than, say, a pencil. It's It's just very easy. And of course, you know, brows are very personal. It really depends on what you have to work with and what you're trying to create, right? This particular product might not be perfect for everybody, but someone that has, like I have microbladed brows, so without makeup, it kind of looks like I have makeup in it already. So I don't really have to create a really precise, detailed brow. I just kind of have to fill in the blanks. Someone that doesn't have any brow and that really wants to create a really like detailed, precise brow, you might find that a thinner, smaller brow pencil like the Brow Wiz or the Micro Brow by NYX, you might find that that would be a better product for you. Now this product was not in my video, but if I could pick 11 things, this would be the 11th. It's the Brow Gel Brow Stylist by L'Oreal. This is a fantastic product. And I just go over my brows. This is just going to give them a little bit of volume and soften them a tiny bit. Okay, for liner, no surprise, the liner that I would run out and go buy is the Physicians Formula Black Liner Pen. And I'm just going to line my, ooh, this mirror is so dirty. That's not going to work. Okay, I'm going to pull this mirror a little closer, so there we go. Okay. I just find this pen is so easy to work with. It's really nice and flexible, which when you're doing this little baby wing that I do, and you're doing this part right here where you're flicking it out, you want something nice, soft, and flexible. Alrighty, there you go. Lovely. Okay, to line my inner rim, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Brow Highlight, and this was not in my video just because with 10 products, this was one step that I'd have to skip or wait on. Alright. And then my lower lash line, I'm lining with the Flower Beauty Vinylized Glossy Eyeliner, and it's called, the shade is called Bronzed Out. Alright, and I just line from the outer corner to about the center of my lower lash line. I'm going to go back out and kind of smudge and smoke this out. And for that, the tool that you use is so important. I really like this Sigma brush. It's the short shader, the E20. And first I'm just going to kind of go over the liner with no shadow, just to soften it a little bit. Then I'm going to take a little bit of shadow, and I'm going to use the lighter one that I used on my crease, the very, oh, sorry, out of frame here, the first one that I used, this one here. Because I have that brown eyeliner on, this color is going to translate a lot darker than it does in the palette. And I'm just going to go directly over that liner and soften that edge to give it a very like smoky kind of finish. Oh my gosh, do you guys hear my stomach? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. Okay, mascara did not end up in that video because I have lash extensions. If I could only buy 10 products, mascara probably wouldn't be the first product I would buy because I could go without it on my lower lashes. But today we are going to apply some mascara. So I'm using the Lash Paradise mascara by L'Oreal. This is definitely a top mascara for me. This and the Chanel Volume are my favorites. The bronzer of choice for me was the Hourglass Luminous Bronze Light bronzer. This is my favorite bronzer, and I'm just gonna go in. This is one of my favorite bronzer brushes. Clearly, you can see that I love it for that. It's the 135 by MAC. I like it because it's soft and fluffy, so it's not gonna pick up a ton of product. It's gonna apply things really softly and sheerly, but I like the shape of it. It's like the perfect shape to just bronze right in the areas that I like to bronze. And I like to kind of go around my hairline here. Then the blush that I chose was the Milani Luminoso blush. This is just a beautiful, soft, peachy color. And I am going to use this brush by IT Cosmetics. It is the Wand Ball Powder Brush. I usually don't use this. I use something smaller that's also by IT Cosmetics, but I don't have it up here, so this is going to have to work. I'm just going to be careful not to get my whole brush in product, but really just get the tip, because this is a little bigger than I would like to use for my blush. And I don't want blush all over my face, right? I just want it here on the apples of my cheek. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this eye makeup look. Just love this combination of shadows. So pretty. Okay, what else did I have in that? We had lipstick. The lipstick that I chose is the shade In Spades. It's their Power Stick lipstick. I hadn't really tried any of Sigma's makeup before, and up until recently, just their brushes. And they sent me this, and I didn't really have any expectation of it. I just haven't heard a lot about Sigma's lipsticks, but this is a favorite, you guys. It is, the color is just perfect. It's the perfect peachy pink. The formula is really nice. It feels very nice. It has a lot of pigment. Yeah, it's just a great lipstick. Look at that. That's like one swipe. And kind of press together. I don't really feel like I need to line my lips with this lipstick. It just kind of has a perfect lined look and it doesn't really move a lot. I am going to top it off with a little bit of gloss. This was not in my top 10, but we're going to tweak things a little bit. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible 8-Hour Pro Gloss in the shade Petal. It's just a good lip topper. It's pretty sheer. It just has a slight kind of iridescent, well, it's not slight, the iridescence is actually pretty intense, but the color is like a slight kind of opal color. Oh, it's so pretty. This is really just going to make my lips look larger and classy. Perfect. All right, we're done. Let me fluff my hair and I'll come right back to you. And this is the finished look, you guys, using the 10 products that I would go out and purchase first if I lost all of my makeup. Remember, this video was requested in our Facebook group page, which is Beauty Chit Chat. I'll have a link down below if you'd like to join that group. It's a really fun community. We are having so much fun in there, and I'm clearly taking requests from there. So feel free to leave requests anywhere, though, in YouTube comments, on Instagram, on my Facebook page, or in this group. But I want to thank the subscriber that requested that I do this video. Thank you so much. That's all I got for you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!